I hope that alone enticed you. The ultimate team comp MiHoYo has been showcasing this entire time is none other than the featured characters in the Summer Fantasia event. Seriously though. This team synergizes very well. Let me show you. I wanted to say real quick, if you're wondering why I'm even building these characters in the first place, it's because I actually promised you guys in an old video. Here's the clip. Alrighty, it's gonna consist of Mona, Fischl, Kazuha, and Xinyan. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'll show you guys how the team works. To start off the domain, we'll use her elemental skill to attract enemies. We'll summon Oz for an electro charge, shield with Xinyan, as well as get an overload or vaporized, and then finally Soro with Kazu. After that, I bursted with Xinyan and then did a vaporize with Mona. I repeated the process but kind of skipped out on some of the parts before because of cooldowns. Now is my favorite part. The two Fatui debt collectors now get sucked up by Mona's burst. Now ideally I would have used Kazuha's burst right after, but Mona's bubble popped, so I just decided to go with Fischl, get the electro charge in, and then throw with Kazuha. Now that that was done, I swapped back to Mona and started vaporizing, and did some pretty good damage. 25k to 22k is a nice number. But if you guys couldn't already tell, this was one of the easier domains, and there was a way more hellish domain that I had to farm for Fischl. But really quickly, I just wanted to showcase my rewards. I used these for Xinyan. Now the hellish domain I was referring to was the Domain of Mystery, Realm of Slumber 4. Of course, no one knows which domain that is, so to simplify it, it's just the Mondstadt book domain. I got started, used the same setup as the event, and loaded in. There are a few apparent problems here. Mona and Kazu are carrying because they have the right artifacts. But now that we're in an ice domain, my underleveled characters need to carry. This caused me to try and rapidly swap out Xinyan and Fischl to slowly chip down the ice shields. However, as you just saw, this didn't work out very well, so I just ended up resorting to haphazardly using my ultimates and skills. These dumb falling icicles did not help at all. And after killing the final mage, I looked at my clear time. Yeah, this domain was pretty horrendous. Got the drops. So the first thing I wanted to do was level up the prototype Archaic. So I went out and hunted some mini Geovishups. And when I was about to kill one of the last ones, this happened. I thought I was crashing, but it turned out it was just a co-op. They helped me kill the respawn Geovishup, and then we went down to business. As they said, they just wanted help fighting the Primo Geovishup, and since I was bored, I agreed. If you haven't guessed by now, this is where I was able to get the clip of me hitting 92,000, but if you round it up, 93 basically. Now, the reason I brought Xinyan was to absorb all the mega attacks that the Primo Geovishup does with her shield. And by then, we already got it down to half, which is pretty nice. A little later after that, I would unleash a second burst, hoping for the same damage earlier, but I wasn't able to see how much I did. And then came another mega attack, and I thought for some reason that I was on Xinyan already, so when he unleashed his attack, I thought I was safe. But the teammate clutched up with the Morax, unleashed his burst, and then after that, we just kind of chipped away at the Primo Geovishup's health. They hit it with a nice 20k to end it off. After that, I was praised, which I very much enjoyed. And then finally, I was able to say goodbye before they left. Usually after they say bye, they leave immediately, but I wanted to say it back. And then after that, I collected some more bone shards, and then thought I had enough to upgrade the weapon. The best part was, I already had more than enough bone shards to begin with, so I went through that crusade for nothing. So I made the necessary amount, went to the weapon, and then ascended it. I waited for this animation to finish, and then I fed it some materials. I got it up to level 80, and Xinyan was looking a lot more stronger. Now that Xinyan had a reliable weapon, it was time for me to upgrade the talents. This was pretty easy since I farmed it earlier in the beginning of the video. Finally, with all the upgrading out of the way, there was only one thing left to do, which is Ascension. This took me a few days because I didn't want to spend any resin, and especially not any Primo Gems. After killing the last of the bosses, the characters were finally ready for Ascension. However, there were some stuff that I had to craft before sending Xinyan, like the red crystals for example. Finally, I was able to ascend Xinyan and get her to level 80. Now, all that was left was to ascend Fischl. I killed the Electro Hypostasis a few more times, and after what seemed like forever, I was finally able to get all of the stuff she needed for her ascension. I crafted the final stuff and then finally ascended her. And just like Xinyan, I upgraded her to level 80.
Now the only thing left for me was to give them good artifacts, but as we all know, you can't get artifacts that quick. So I'm gonna make a follow-up video when the event ends and show you guys all the progress I made with them then. I hope you guys enjoyed this video idea that I thought of, and I'll make my next video soon. See ya.